Welcome to Map Labs Blockout, which, if you don't know what Map Labs is, it's more or less a Half-Life mapping competition in which you have to make a map according to a certain theme. The theme this time around was Blockouts, as you can see, which is basically just make a map with depth textures, which is what we did. And here are the entries. There's 15, I believe. Oh no, 16. Which I haven't played this one, but I have played all the others. So I feel like that I have at least a decent knowledge of how these maps work, and that I can give like critique on what I think of them. So yeah, we're just gonna start with the first one, which is MapLab's Bureau. And the map informs that we have to escape from the co-creator of MapLabs, which is definitely an interesting goal for a map. So we're already off to a good start. So yeah, one of the things that I really like about this map is the skybox, which you don't really get to see all that much. So I'm just gonna point it out here, is that it looks really cool. You can see a bunch of buildings in the distance, and this one right here with the one that's like fell into it, which I don't think really makes sense, but it looks cool, okay? And we also have a nice reference here with a bunch of like mappers who have entered up to this point, I think, and well, some other people as well. So yeah, that's neat. I like that. But here's what I guess you could call the first like gameplay section of the map. Which I think this section is quite well done. So you go to this door, and well, you can't really go through because there's a bunch of planks in the way. Well, you can't go through planks. So we obviously have to find some way to break these planks so we can continue. So after looking around for a little bit, you will most likely find that there is a crowbar laying here next to this guy, which is very much dead. So the way to get into this room is via this hole here, which we have to use a good old prop stack method to get out. So yeah, now we're in, we have a crowbar, we can grab this other crate here to get out. But you can also just break the glass, like that, and get out like this, which is a bit easier, but you have options, and options are great. We're gonna try and hit that board, and we completed the puzzle, which I quite liked the puzzle. I thought it was well set up. So yeah, good puzzle. Now we see this bottom, which does absolutely nothing. So we're just gonna go down the stairs, and we have some more boards which you can break. Which I always like boards that you can break. They just add a little bit more gameplay, which otherwise just wouldn't be there. So now we get to what I guess you could call the second like main gameplay area of the map, which we have a couple of zombies which I found you could just mostly ignore. So also this guy here, which also another odd thing about, I don't know if it's this map or this like the way this mod build is built, but the shadows in some of the maps are just really odd. Like that doesn't make sense, but okay. It's a minor nuisance, really. Alright, this is puzzle number 2, and it's a bit of an odd one, I will say. Well, the setup is good. We have a weapon, which I'll pick up in a moment. Which we have a weapon, and behind this weapon there is a note. And that note more or less explains that in the office where we just were, there is another note which gives us like the key combination for this thing. Which I think what I thought what I had to do was, well, what I would assume to be the obvious solution is to type that code into this thing. But as far as I'm aware, that's not what you're actually supposed to do. And I'll just murder these zombies. Let's also murder this head crab if he decides to show up again. So yeah, here's the code. I thought, go over there again, fill in the code, the door opens. that doesn't actually seem to happen. So what you actually have to do is take the note itself and go back to the door, which didn't seem very obvious to me at all, but it is what it is. And also, something that's even more odd than that is that you don't even have to do this puzzle at all, because you can just walk through the door. Which I don't get it. I really don't get it, but it is what it is. You know, yeah, look, we can open the door now with the note that we picked up. But yeah, now we get to the final section of this map, which yet again looks really cool, with a nice little reference to another map. A map which I'm not even going to attempt to explain really. But anyway, we're just gonna get this section started by going here. Oh, there's a bunch of guys. And they seem to be having a bit of trouble. Well, what I wanted to say is that I just like this section because let's see, alright, now they're going. Because the Combine soldiers here just seem to really enjoy rushing me, which I mean, there are probably people which like this type of combat, I'm sure, but I'm not a fan of it, because it usually just results in really awkward situations. I genuinely like it more when Combine soldiers stay back a bit more, that they would like go here and do like a little bit of a part shot, maybe try to flank you around the side or something, while some other Combine people stay back a little bit more. So yeah. So anyway, I think that's the way this combat section would have been improved. I wouldn't say that this combat section is bad. I don't think it's bad or anything. Yeah, I just think it could have been better. But it's fine as it is. It's a bit hard on hard, I found. I'm not sure if I'm actually playing on hard right now. I don't think I am. Oh boy. So anyway, I think that was the last wave. Oh no, there's two more. Did any of these guys like drop their combine balls? I guess not. So yeah. That was the end of the map. Well, almost. Here we have Chris M, which I'm sorry, but we're going to have to murder you. And cancel maps. So yeah, that was that map. I liked it. It had a couple of like odd quirks to it, especially in that like second puzzle section, which I don't really get that one. But overall, I liked it. It's a good map. I would play it again.